Hello everyone, here's a question for you. Do you know what kind of food Tobey Maguire ate during the filming of the 2002 Spider-Man series? My name is Chris Annunziato and I am a diabetes nurse practitioner, and I want to welcome you to my plant-based kitchen where we cook foods that are healthy and can make us live longer. So do you know the answer to the question? Let me show you what he ate. And this is silken tofu. Tofu is a very versatile food. It is pretty much bland, so whatever you put on it will absorb its flavors. But where does tofu actually come from? And we know it's from soybean, and it dates all the way back about 2,000 years ago in the ancient dynasty of the Han. And this food has come around the world. It is eaten mostly in Asia. They have this in so many dishes, and it has been linked to a lot of its health properties, including its rich content of fiber as well as protein. And it has also been shown to benefit in reducing a lot of different diseases like cardiovascular disease, some types of cancer, and colorectal cancer. So today, what I wanted to do is showcase tofu in a soup that I absolutely love. So we're gonna make Korean food today, and what we're gonna make is what is called Soondubu jjigae, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. It is a silken tofu or a soft tofu stew. And how we make that, let me put that here, is basically having all our ingredients ready. So we're gonna start with our onions here that I've sliced along the grain. We have a little bit of ginger, and that is a little bit of a slant on my part because I want to include ginger in my cooking. I also have dried wakame here because in some of the cooking for the tofu stew they use kelp broth, and we don't have that, so we're going to use the wakame today to create that flavor. I also have a lot of radishes, so I'm going to put that in there. I have a white carrot in here. We're going to put that in there. So we'll start with this. Cook this down until your onions are translucent, and then we're going to come back to the rest of the ingredients. So come over here. I have the pot heating up over here, and I just put a little bit of water because, as you know, I water saute all of my ingredients. I'll do the ginger here, and we're probably gonna have to increase the heat here because I had to lower it down. And here's our onions that we want to soften up. All the textures here have to be really soft because your tofu is very soft. So you're gonna cook this on very high heat and get all these vegetables down to the right texture for your silken tofu. Okay, and let's put that in there. You're done with that. Let me just mix it up and let it stir fry for just a little bit. And let me show you the rest of the ingredients that we're gonna prepare. Going back over here, what we're gonna add with the tofu, along with the tofu that I'm gonna cut up in blocks here, are a few Napa cabbages. So I have about 4 leaves here that we're gonna use. We have green onions, and I also like to add zucchini or yellow squash here that I have. So when you come back, once we've cooked that down, I'm gonna chop this up. I'm going to show you how to put it together. It's really very quick. So we have now chopped up our yellow squash here, the white part of the scallions, as well as our Napa cabbage. I typically put kimchi in my tofu stew, but today I ran out of kimchi. It was all eaten up a couple weeks ago. So we're just gonna put some Napa cabbage there to add more fiber, and it's a cruciferous vegetable. We're gonna make the mixings of our broth here, our stock. So first things first, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use about a tablespoon of this mushroom seasoning here, and that's to kind of add some flavor into our broth. What we're also gonna do is add some mushroom into what we're making. So I'm gonna add this on here. So when we put all of these ingredients together, we can just put them all in there. I'm putting about 1 cup of mushrooms there. They're very thinly sliced and it will add flavor into our soup there. So after this one, let me just grab some of our gochujang here, get it ready. We're gonna put about a teaspoon of sesame oil. And you guys know that I'm very shy about oil, so we're not gonna put a lot. And we're gonna check this out to taste. We might drizzle some before we eat it. And this is the gochujang sauce. So I'm gonna grab about a couple of heaping tablespoons on here. And since it has a tendency to stick on my spoon, I'm grabbing as much of it as I can. Let me just grab this and put it there. Okay, now that we have that there, we're gonna add some soy sauce. And what I typically use here is Brad's Amino. We're gonna put a couple of tablespoons of that to add some umami. There you go. That also finishes up this. And then we're gonna start mixing this up. And you want this to kind of blend together so when you put it in the pot, you don't have to do a whole lot more mixing. Okay. There we go. And let's take our ingredients to the stovetop there. As you can see, some of our vegetables are translucent there. Our seaweed has expanded. So we're gonna leave it in there. We're gonna cook the rest of the veggies in here. And we'll keep cooking this in very high heat. At this point, we're gonna add our soup base. And certainly, if this is not enough or it's not spicy enough for you, you can always add some more gochujang sauce. And we're gonna add the rest of the water. So in total, I have about 6 cups of water in this particular recipe. Okay, we're gonna boil this for a few more minutes, and when we come back, we'll put the rest of the ingredients in. Our vegetables are now soft, so let's take the rest of our ingredients over there. As you can see, the silken tofu here I have cut into cubes, and then I have some enoki mushrooms here that are really nice and tender. We're gonna put that at the end along with the scallions. So let's come over here, open this up. And you can see it's been boiling really hard. The vegetables are all soft. And we're gonna try and do this as neatly and as carefully as we can. So here's our tofu. I put the paper towel there so the water doesn't leak everywhere. And then we're gonna put our enoki mushrooms on top and the green onions. The temperature is going to come down just a little bit here, but that is all right. We're going to stir it to combine all of the ingredients. I did test this earlier for the salt content, and it was fine. Bring that back to a boil, just for a few seconds here. Just so we can cook the tofu just a little bit. It's completely cooked as it is, but we want the heat to kind of seep into it. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this entire thing over there because I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna plate it. Let's close this up. And bring this over to our workstation. Off. And this will be wonderful lunch for us. Okay, so we have this, and I have a surprise for you. I got myself a Korean hot stone. So what we're gonna do is serve it in this bowl right here. It is pretty big, so it should serve my husband and myself. Take a look at that for a moment. shall serve it. So this pot right here has been baking at 350. You can see that it's sizzling. You have all your vegetables in there. We're gonna put a little bit of black pepper in there and just a few more sprinkles of our Korean pepper flakes. It's not spicy enough, so I'm gonna add a little bit more in there. And we're gonna finish it off with a little bit of sesame oil. And that is your Soondubu jjigae. And if you want to really impress your guests, you can serve it like this, cover it up, and bring it to their table. I hope you enjoyed this recipe and you would give it a try. It's not very hard. Until next time.